Hey, guys, just spam fix it if I leave the poll up. One thing I noticed from the last stream is I kept leaving the poll up. When the poll's over, let me close it. Well, here's what I'll say. This ad is in the final episode of Mad Men. It is the ending credits. It is an iconic ad of the time and one of the beginnings of Coke's dominance of the ad space for years to come. In modern times, it's a little bit weird. It's a little culty, actually, to be honest with you. But at the time, the concept of people putting aside their differences, coming together, really associating your product with peace and happiness in a way that it does not deserve. It's just sugar water. It's clever. I'd probably give this a 4 for posterity. Also, it is mostly white people, and also the white people get like the solos. The zoom in face is definitely the white girl. She gets the most screen time. But hey, I don't know. It's and also this one, yeah.
By the world.
They really attractive white women. I would like to buy the world of Coke. But I get it. It's the real thing. I hate this. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is... Some would say this is a guaranteed 5 because of how iconic it was for the time. This is 1971, you guys understand. Different era. I think a 4 is warranted, but you guys have reviewed it with your modern lens and given it a 3, and I think that's fine. It's very average. Very forgettable. I think people learned a lot from this ad and made it better. Okay. Yeah, easy start. I like a good bouncer. Yo, Atrioc is in the video. God damn it. All right. Yeah, I'm... where am I? Could be me. Could be me right there. I remember. For the time, this has set Apple's marketing strategy for the next 3 decades. They're the outsider. They're the creative one. Oh, fix it. All right, fine. This is pretty forgettable, right? This is very basic, like, ha, 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 vegetarians. You know, like, oh, I'm a tough football guy.
Why does she pack these things?
It just feels very, very forgettable. In like 3 days, this will be out of my mind. I'm trying to think about. I mean, it's a safe target, right? Because even people who like eating meat alternatives are probably not a big fan of cardboard quinoa alternate patties, veggie burgers, and they make it look very unappetizing. But you know what? The product is so sparsely featured. And the journey, like the main character in this thing never takes a swig of Bud. Bud's not involved in his journey at all. What I would really like if I had to change one thing about this ad, which I think is pretty forgettable, is like he thinks about it. You know, if it was like if it was halftime and his team was down. So like he remembers. It's halftime. His team is down. Oh, fix it. We'll take us down. Yeah, go. His team. You guys voted this a 1, but a lot of you voted this a 5. This is such an interesting one. Obviously, no one wants to be this guy. It is very weird. Even, you know, as emotionally mature as I'm sure all Twitch chatters are, who would never spam cuck. This guy's a cuck. I'm sure you guys are way too mature for that. I would just say, even if we take that word out of our vocabulary and we're not, it's just a weird person to have as your mascot, right? He's clearly in love with this girl. He says she's the one. He's reminiscing about her. These are like romantic, flirty moments.
Promise I will never.
I don't know. It's weird. It's very odd. Oh yeah, let me take the poll down. You guys voted a 1. It's a tough one for me. This is a tough one, but I have to go above 3. This probably has to be a 4, honestly. The idea is excellent. Every piece of the car in a Rube Goldberg machine, excellent. The sound design is so good to make you intrigued. At no point halfway through did I want to tune out. I wanted to see where it was going. And they use different pieces of the car in interesting ways. Now, as an ad, it also has to get me interested in the product. And one thing I was going to critique was how at no point in here do they show something unique to the Honda Accord. It's all default car parts. They don't show like how their chairs are extra soft, leading to like let's say a ball bearing falls on their chair and it doesn't bounce as far because it's more soft. Or like, in this part, it would instead of just doing a normal default dash, it like activates the Apple CarPlay that plays a song, something like that, and it starts the speakers vibrating. Something that shows like why this is good, why their car is unique. Now, saying Hondas just work, I get it, and I think that's actually an amazing tagline. Where would you say it?
Isn't it nice when things just work?
Isn't it nice when things just work is a great tagline because people really, one of the biggest fears they have when buying cars is that they're going to have some annoying and expensive car trouble down the road. And Honda positioning itself as they have as a car that holds value, that is easy to repair. That is just the simple, easy, buy it and trust it car is great. It looks so fake even though it's real. The frame rate is awful. It causes motion sickness. It's long and boring. Nothing really makes Honda stand out. I don't agree with most of that. I think I don't think it looks particularly fake. And I think the frame rate may be a YouTube problem. Probably not a slight problem. I just think making Honda stand out, I don't know. Ending on this big, boring gray Honda Accord. I guess what I would love is for it to ramp up at the end too. Like this part is not a satisfying finale. You'd love it to be like a real cool finish. But again, let's talk about this. 6.8 million views on YouTube. These people came and watched this. People linked this to their friends to share it. That's good. This ad, I think, has to be a 3 or above, and I would put it at a 4. Oh, fix it? Yeah, I'll take it. It's a meme, but also very good. No, I mean, yeah, Sprite Cranberry is good. We're not voting on the product, boys. This is fine. I would have been happy with a 3, but really, it's a 2, right? I mean, it's just not. It's like an interesting art style. They don't really pay off that it's the thirstiest time of the year. It's just holiday with claymation celebrities, and then LeBron busts in and says, "Want a Sprite Cranberry?" What? I mean, what are you talking about?
Of the year. I have just one query. Want a Sprite Cranberry?
I hate it. I hate it. I actually hate it. I have just one query. And then, like, they don't even bother to. He doesn't even sing it. It's just such a lazy take.
I have just one query. Want a Sprite Cranberry?
There's memes. There's a bunch of memes. Okay, let's see if Sprite Cranberry memes. Sprite Cranberry meme compilation.
Want a Sprite Cranberry?
What are those Neanderthals up to? Don't they know I'm busy spoiling myself?
Want a Sprite Cranberry?
Okay.
I am going.
I get it. Oh, so the thing I thought was funny, other people thought was funny.
To open this door.
Want a Sprite Cranberry?
Oh, I'll move the poll. Listen. Old Spice with this guy had a slam dunk. One of the greatest ad series of all time. Literally put Old Spice on the map. The Man Your Man Should Smell Like with this guy, the first series, someone linked the first one. At 5-star beyond a doubt. It literally, I mean, there's like studies on it. It drastically upped their sales. This guy put Old Spice on the map. It was huge. This ad is many, many, many years later, and they're adding a son, and they're making this little parody that almost kind of makes fun of their old ads. It makes this guy seem like a goofy goober instead of his original intention of like the ultimate manly man. It's almost like making their own stuff from before seem uncool. Terry Crews is also great. Okay? Terry Crews and this guy. Well, I'm saying both the first wave of their ads were amazing. This ad is like long past the prime of those ads. And in fact, I think the core message of like making this guy seem out of touch boomery just to sell a new type of Old Spice is a little bit odd. The horse thing is a nice finisher, though. So I don't like this. I think this is like one of their weakest ads. What I'll say is, it ain't boring. And what I noticed that I thought was really cool was this. All the scenes they showed at the beginning of the ad were real problems that a kid, I'm assuming their target market is children, would be stressed about. Okay? The kid's worried about school, getting a bad, especially in Japan. They're very serious about school. Maybe I'm a Japanese kid. Yeah, let me get this off. Let me take this off. Sponsored content. If you're a Rick and Morty fan, they stay true.
Breakfast.
Their characters act realistic.
What? Wendy's breakfast. They've been trying to make us do
They get to have this part really
a
sells it.
commercial about it for months. Man, I'm hungry. Those things look good. Bet your ass they do, Morty. That's the breakfast baconator, frosty chino, and honey butter chicken biscuit.
They read the fucking product names. They make them characters. Distinctly lacking Pickle Rick.
Chicken. Run, Morty, run! I'll never do it. You'll never take me alive. Oh, wait, Rick! Oh. Running.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It's good. It's a good ad. This is a 4. This is a 4. This hits Rick and Morty fans right in their nuts. Rick and Morty fans, right now, this ad, boom, hits you right in your nuts. You're hooked. The characters behave believably. Wendy's is featured all throughout this 30-second ad, and the new products they featured are even as introduced as characters. And they even do this part again where they acknowledge it's an ad.
Trope, Morty. Rick, what's wrong? Don't look over too fast, Morty. We're being followed. Who are those guys? Wendy's breakfast.
Good submission. Watching is all you're good at. Who wants to be this guy? His fantasy team is down, so we can't even watch. This is. It doesn't change at all if it's Tony Romo or not. Yeah, I don't know. This is a waste of Tony Romo. The whole concept is weird, and then the end result is like, kind of a letdown.
Watching the game is all you can do.
But you're good at it. I am.
You're good at it. You're good at it. You idiot simpleton. Just shut up, sit on a couch, and drink beer. Our beer, please. Wow. I'm good at it. Hey, guys, just sit down, shut up, and watch my stream. Because you're good at it. You're good at it. We are? We are? Yeah. I think this ad's kind of wackadoodle. It just could have been so much better. And if you're going to pay for Tony Romo, do something more creative than this ad where he just tells a guy Sit down, shut up, and watch football because you're good at it. I don't know. I think this ad treats its audience like they're idiots, and maybe they are, but I think you could do better. So I give this a 1, maybe a 2 if this hotline is real and there was something really funny about it. But I think this is an idea that sounds better in theory.
Now to find your game.
Call the number? All right, let's do it right now. I'm going to call the number live on stream. I'm going to let them know whether it's a 1 or a 2 if this is funny. I'll do it on speaker. Corona. Okay, here we go. What if I got Tony Romo? What if it was Tony Romo? Busy. No. It was on at the time, not now. Well, what did it take you to? Imagine it's Tony Romo's real number. That would be so pog. Yuck. Listen, I don't mind if you want to put your music over an Oreo ad. If you have some upbeat, positive music that you've made, where I draw the line is whenever you sing lyrics like milk plus cream does wondrous things inside a chocolate sandwich dream. It's just, you got no credibility at that point. You got no credibility. And they would gladly pay you for one of your many successful upbeat songs to be a background song for a commercial. You don't have to sing the word Oreo and how great it is. You just don't have to. Ugh. So, I don't know. I don't think this is very good. I'll be honest with you. I don't think this is very good. But I'm willing to be wrong. The Oreo Wonder-Filled Anthem. A lot of people seem to have watched it. The song is very popular. And I will say, let's get my personal opinion out of this. Oreo is heavily featured. Man, they got some iconic stories. I mean, these are all in public domain, the 3 little pigs. So the wolf and the pigs would hang out if they had an Oreo. Vampires wouldn't suck blood. They would suck milk if they had an Oreo. That's something. I think a 3's all right. This is not a game changer. Oreos had better ones. But it is a catchy song.
Bring those pigs cool stuff.
Damn. Owl City, though. You had it all, Owl City. You had Fireflies. From Fireflies to fucking Oreo Wonder-Filled. Not great, not bad, catchy as fuck. I agree with that. Let's give it a 3. Let's give it a 3. Let's give it a 3 and move on to the next one. So many things make no sense. Especially this. Like, Pepsi was so afraid to even, like, name a specific cause that they made just random peace signs and a sign that says join the conversation. Is that what they're rioting about? Not enough people joining the conversation and hearts? It's like embarrassingly bland and corporate. They clearly don't want to take a single stance on anything. So they just got a bunch of beautiful young people with no threat and no danger. Even the cops are like attractive models. Look at the cop. The cop's got a jawline for days. This is not how I've been seeing cops act lately. This is not the... Everything's just so peaceful. There's a huge gap between protesters and cops, and there's no danger. And Kendall just breaks that barrier, hands him a Pepsi, and ends racism. Why do they cheer at this moment? What possible protest? Is that him joining the conversation? These are the least militarized cops I've ever seen in America. And all it takes was him to crack open a Pepsi so loudly they can all hear, they start cheering. They're protesting thirsty cops. We need to join the conversation about how thirsty these cops are. If we can't quench their thirst, how can we save America? Kendall would have been tear gassed immediately IRL. I mean, yeah, as we've seen, I think this would go a little bit differently IRL. It just wouldn't be such a fun-loving, middle of a sunny day protest. Everyone's, yeah. Anyway, the lesson's clear, boys. You have to join the conversation. If you're not joining the conversation, if you're not sharing a Pepsi, man, I would love just to stick it to Pepsi. I'd love to see someone to try this. But obviously, I don't want to wish anybody in actual danger, which this would cause them. Terrible, terrible, terrible one ad. Hilarious one, but still terrible. Live bolder. I think this is a perfect example of what we talked about earlier, where there is such a thing as bad publicity. I don't think this helped Pepsi sales. People talked about it, but in a very negative way. And it painted Pepsi as an out-of-touch brand that you don't want to associate with. This is a perfect example of getting a lot of eyeballs and people talking about it and not being good. Please join the conversation, boys. Please join the conversation. For Kendall. Yeah. You guys. Is this a 3? This might actually be, as crazy as it sounds, a good ad for a 30-second spot. And I don't even like the concept. This might be a 4. Only because of how often they show Doritos and how satisfying they make that crunch sound. That's all they really have to do. Everything else is just a vehicle to get that. All I want to do after I see this ad is get a big red bag of Doritos and crunch on it. It wasn't a marketing team. They had a contest for people to make the ad. That makes it even easier for them to pawn off the low production value. Yeah, I don't know. This ad might not be bad. The goat scream is fucking annoying as shit. And the story's kind of weird. But showing a ton of bags of Doritos and hearing the crunch is like half the battle. It is pretty weak. I guess we can agree on a 3. Honestly, if you could just take a wall of Doritos bags and change everything else about this and have me hear satisfying crunches, that was all you had to do. Everything else kind of sucks, so it's probably a 3 or a 2. But, you know, we don't have to love the goat part for this to be a good ad, is what I'm trying to say. Good night, Tater. Good night, Tater. Thanks for sticking around today. Next ad. We'll stick to a 3. Very funny ESPN Michael Jordan commercial. It's not crazy. It's sports. Well, this is not it yet. But what is this ad? Ooh. Wow, look how fun this looks. Wow, vacation where you're not around a lot of other people, so you're not super at risk of corona. Wow. Icon pass ad gets a 5. Skip. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Michael Jordan ad. Let's review.
Checking in.
Your name, please.
Michael Jordan.
Oh.
Michael Jordan, 8 o'clock?
Oh.
That's me.
Oh. Oh. Man.
you doing?
Really? Let's go.
Oh. Vote it. Rate this ad. Rate this ad.
Checking in.
Your name, please.
Michael Jordan.
Oh.
This part makes it for me. His knowing face. You've seen it all before. Oh, I'm covering. You can't even see his knowing face. But let me tell you, it's knowing. What are they trying to sell you? So good question. I'm going to give this ad a 4 or a 5. It's very funny. It's very good. And all ESPN has to do is remind you of sports when they think of it. ESPN just has to be in your brain the first mental association with sports. When I think sports, talking about sports, watching sports, I think ESPN. That's all they have to do. This is a continuation of their This Is Sports Center commercials, where it's just sort of funny, sports-related humor. These are some of the all-time great commercials. This Is Sports Center was such a fantastic run of ads.
I've
You guys
been
haven't
obsessed
seen
with
them.
belts for a long time. I wear a belt every day, and there
Wait, what is this ad?
was like 3
I've been obsessed with belts for a long time.
things that always drove me crazy about belts. You have all these holes, but you only use one of them. This big flap hanging off the front, and it usually sticks out under your shirt. And so
True.
I'd search high and low for a belt that would like not do any of those things, and I couldn't find it. There's enough things in life that are
would
super
like
complicated.
not do any of those
and
things. This ad blows that goat out of the water to me. I think it's very good.
This story.
I think it's clever. And they talk about everything you recognize iconic about Doritos. The shape, the crunch, the ingredients, the bags, iconic 2 colors, the dust on your shirt. The only thing I think is kind of whack is first how long it is. This could have been 30. Second is these billboards they put up. These were also it was part of a larger campaign. And this stuff is like marketers jerking off. This is like marketers thinking they have a big fucking cool idea. The user doesn't care. They don't care. Yeah, it's a Doritos ad. That's what I'm saying. This is marketers jerking off the whole like concept of we're not even going to use a logo. But the scenes they showed, this stuff's all great. They should have just talked about what was awesome about Doritos.
Doubled up, hit the shelf, and called dibs on that last bit. This is that sweet, cheesy, salty, spicy, crispy, crunchy, flavor-packed.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't even look at the product. Make it look at the product, dude. I want to see the thing I'm going to buy. The only part they show it is like right here. I noticed it. Like right here when she eats it.
The game,
And it looks good.
the chip that changed
And
the
I want
game.
to chew that, but you barely ever show it. Oh, fix it. Sorry. Good call. Here's what matters to us. Lud's great in it. Lud does his best to carry what I think is a absolute stinker of a concept, which is like a 3-minute travelogue about a guy who at the time no one really knew or had heard of. None of it really makes a lot of sense, especially for selling a hotel. And if you're not interested in Melee, why would you still watch this? And if you are, I mean, you're already looking for whatever's the cheapest anyway. So I don't know how. The concept is so weird. Some of the editing choices are weird, but Lud does a great job. Truly. This little spin here? Woo! I mean, this is like a very nerdy hobby, right? And he makes it look kind of
Vegas.
cool.
What are you going to do?
It's party time.
Maybe not cool. Maybe cool is the wrong word. Maybe super douchey is what the spin was great, though. The spin was great. He did a good job. And this is also, by the way, this is peak looking good Ludwig. What happened to this Ludwig? God damn, the guy looks good in this. Look at the focus. Yeah, but just weird to pick this. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't do a mango or something if you're going to do this at all, which I don't think it makes sense. I don't think the core concept of this ad makes any sense. I think literally the best he possibly could, and it just doesn't make any sense. So I guess as a meme, it's funny. And Ludwig ended up getting big. Maybe they're 5-head. Maybe they just saw this guy and knew he's going to get a huge Twitch audience. And if we make an ad early, we can save him to pay him 10, 20K in the future to be in our ad. That's the 5-head. You know what? One of the smartest things I ever did at NVIDIA was right when I joined. I said, hey, this is before Fortnite got big. Right before Fortnite got big, when PUBG was still big. I was like, hey, I've been tracking the numbers. This guy Ninja's been blowing up. His viewership keeps going up. This is before Fortnite got big and before it passed PUBG. And so we signed Ninja to do an ad. And we got him for insanely cheap. We're like the last company. NVIDIA was one of the last companies to get Ninja cheap. Then he came back not 6-8 months later, and we tried to renegotiate for something new, and it was like $1 million plus. I mean, it was insane. It was peak Ninja. So maybe this is that 9-head shit where Hotels.com just knew Ludwig was going to be big. And now we'll play this ad. Now they knew we'd be playing it years later. Just to see Ludwig. Or maybe not. We'll never know. But let's close the stream out, boys. Fun! Oh, close the ad. Review. 5-star, of course.